Hey, you guys. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Sorry I've been gone. I haven't really been anywhere. I just been, doing stuff. So, thanks for the emails. But I'm okay. I'm okay. Things are just, it's summer and my son Adrian came to town he just finished doing some training for the this like tech school training down in Florida. So he's back here in Spokane for the summer to continue at Fairchild. So that's pretty cool. So he's got about 3 weeks in between. So he's just been hanging out and anyway, and he's the one that's been doing my digitals. And I don't know if maybe you guys know this, but maybe you don't. There's about 20, I didn't realize I had this many, but I've got like 20 digital listings now. So just lots of ephemera and mostly just things that I've scanned, and then we just sort of edited, cropped them, and made them look nice. So go check out my Etsy shop if you're looking for just some ephemera type of stuff. Lots of ledger pages and, just random ephemera, okay, that you can use for all kinds of things, in collage or even if you're making, your own digital things. There's some ephemera that's really useful in there. Anyway, and they're high quality scans too. So, okay, so totally off topic. This is the third time I've tried to make this video, but I think I'm going to really try to push through and get it done. I'm making some charms for the monthly minis and just, need to put something right there. And I've done, the little eyelets there already. I'm not going to show you the journals right now because I will do a flip through. About 2/3 of these are already spoken for from my subscribers, my monthly mini subscribers. And the rest of them, I will have at this point 11 available for purchase still. And those will go into my Etsy shop, I think, unless you want to send me an email and request one. The subscription rate for the monthly minis is $45 a month plus $5 for shipping. So I decided for this first series of minis, if you would like to purchase one but not subscribe, I'll go ahead and do the 11 remaining journals for that 45 plus shipping, as long as I can do it through PayPal. So if you're interested in one of these, even if you don't want to subscribe, just send me an email and I'll hook you up. But I am going to do a flip through on these too. So I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what they look like so that you know kind of why I'm going this route with the charms. So what I've been doing is using these little chandelier pieces that I picked up on Amazon. Okay, so these are intended to be made into earrings, but I thought they were great to use as charms, So I've picked out some that I want to use. I've already made a bunch of these charms, so these are going to be sort of like extras. Because I wasn't sure if I wanted to video this or not, but I thought, maybe you guys might want to see. So I pulled out some more stuff to do a few more. And then I also like to use for something like this where, you're not sure how it's going to land on the journal. Like when someone picks it up, you kind of want it to be able to lay flat and be on the correct side when it's laying down. And to make that easier, I like to use a swivel. So these are just brass swivels that I picked up at an Army surplus store. Super cheap. I mean, seriously, like I think I got like 50 for about $2. Don't shop for jewelry when you're looking for swivels. Shop for fishing stuff because it's a lot cheaper. So anyway, you just have to kind of look around for them. I think Walmart would be a good place to find these, and they have tons of different sizes. So some of them have different configurations, but I like the ones that just has a loop on the top and bottom. Okay. So anyway, so I'm going to use a swivel and then one of the little chandeliers and a clasp, because I like to add a clasp on stuff like this because you know, sometimes maybe people want to take it off. Like they might want to remove that charm, um, you know, if it inhibits their ability to write in the journal, or maybe they want to use it on something else. You know, it's kind of just like a piece of jewelry that you can take on or take off, or put back on or add to it or whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just work on this one. I will try to find the link for these particular, actually, you know what? I think these ones I got at Rings and Things. So maybe I shouldn't use that one. I'll just use one of these. So this one only has 3 loops at the bottom, but that's okay. We can add more than 3 items on there. So I just want to make them kind of junky, right? Kind of junk journal-y, and, you know, just add some different random things to them. Okay. So this is kind of how they turn out, just with different little pieces from some junk jewelry, little bits of, you know, bead chain. And, you know, you find this kind of stuff all the time in thrift stores or, you know, yard sales and stuff like that. So like, look for all of these little elements that you can, you know, take apart and use in, you know, like like charms. So anywho, let me grab some jump rings. So the jump rings that I like to use, I buy them at Hobby Lobby, and they're a heavy gauge jump ring. So they're pretty thick. I don't know exactly what the gauge is, but I think it's like 16 maybe. And I like to use these particular ones because they're just sturdy, you know, and not dirty, sturdy. Anyway, so jump rings 101. 2 pairs of pliers is always nice. And these are Beadsmith pliers. I bought these at Hobby Lobby, and I think you can get them on their website. I've had a hard time finding these on Amazon so that I could give you guys a link. I don't know why, but I haven't been able to find these particular ones on Amazon. But they're made by the Beadsmith, and these are just like a chain nose plier. So they're completely smooth on the inside. There's no serration or anything, and they're just really, really nice. And I like the size. They're longer. They're a little bit bigger and real sturdy. Anyway, so you want to grab your jump ring with the opening up. Sometimes it's hard to see it. Put your glasses on. You want the opening up, and then you'll grab it on one side with one plier and the other side with the other plier, and then you're going to twist like that. You don't pull them apart. You always want to twist, because you'll never get those back together correctly if you pull that apart. So you just want them to just, you know, twist sideways. Anyway, so grab my my swivel, drop the swivel on, and then also I'm gonna grab my my chandelier and add that on there too. So with one jump ring, we're just connecting those 2 pieces. Okay. And then another jump ring, and you could use probably a little bit smaller jump rings, I guess, but I find this is a good size. I can't remember what size it is. I think it's 6 millimeters. Anyway, so on the clasp, and the clasps I get on Amazon too. I'll put a link in the description for the clasps, and I think it's a pack of 100 or something, and they're not super expensive. So anyway, so I've got the clasp and the swivel and the chandelier all connected now. So now all you need to do is just start adding stuff. And I'm going to use those same jump rings. Oops. I've pulled out some stuff that I, you know, already kind of prepped to use for this purpose. So this is just a little like rhinestone key that came off of a little necklace or something. It was a pendant on the necklace. So I'm going to add that in the center. And with these chandeliers, you sort of want to try to balance things, you know, like you don't want to put a bunch of heavy stuff on one side and then lightweight stuff on the other side, because otherwise it'll just hang weird. So, I mean, you could really just add anything on here, like buttons or, you know, other types of charms. This is just a little silver rose. And, you know, I don't worry about whether or not the base metal is the same. Like I'll mix silver and copper and bronze and gold all together. Like I just don't even care anymore. I like it, actually. I like when that stuff is kind of mixed up. So yeah, so see, sometimes these things, they wind up being backwards, and if that really bugs you, then you know, be real careful about what direction you're putting things on. Oh, so I wanted to use a little bit of this. Actually, I've got this stuff. So this is a piece of bead chain, okay? And I just want to use like one link of this. So this is just put together with little head pins or little pieces of wire and made into a loop at the top and a loop at the bottom. So I just kind of open up the loop, and then I close it back up when I'm done, when I've kind of like harvested one of these. So I'm going to add that on using a jump ring. I could use the wire that's on there to attach it, but I'd feel better if I just, you know, used another jump ring. So I'm going to add that, and then I think I might, nah, I was going to add another item in there with it, but okay. So now I've got that little bead, and I want to add something at the bottom of that. Oh, I think I know what I'll add. So I did these little blanks that you can get. I think I got them on Amazon. I'll try to find the link to these, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it because I searched for it before and I couldn't find them. But I know that's where I bought them, so they're probably just not available anymore. Anyway, so I did some stenciling on these using some of that Patina paint. It's a Ranger product, and it's really nice for painting on metal, and it dries really fast, and it's permanent, you know, and it's real durable. Anyway, I just used my little number stencils and stenciled some numbers on these. Okay, so then I added a little bell onto the jump ring with the little brass piece. Added a little bell just to give it a little bit of jingle, you know. I just like that. I like the way it sounds. So see, it's kind of like this is going, I feel like I need something else on that side to sort of balance it out. Or maybe, actually, maybe I'll add something at the end of that key. But I really don't want these to get too long. So hang on. Let's see. I think I could add, sometimes these bead chains are put together in a way that you can't just open up one of the loops. Sometimes the wire has been wrapped around and you wind up having to cut it. Actually, I'm going to use one of these. This is another bead chain that I cut apart. Well, I didn't cut it. Actually, I disassembled it. So I'm going to add a piece of that onto that same ring with that little rose charm. So now I've got two items hanging on that same loop. And then I want to add something else at the bottom there. Just a little something. What else do I have? Oh, I love using these as charms. These little hook and eye, pieces that you would sew onto a piece of clothing. I like to use those as charms. So I'm gonna just hook that onto my jump ring, and then I'm gonna put it right on the end of that little piece of bead chain. So yeah, so I like that now. It's a little bit more balanced and just kind of, oh, just kind of junky and random, you know. So there, yeah. So that's just a little charm dangle thing that, you know, will look really cool, I think, on the front of one of these journals. So I'll add a large jump ring here through that eyelet, and then that's also a heavy duty jump ring, and then just clip it on. So yeah, so there we go. I might turn this key around because that's going to bug me, but yeah. And it's nice with the swivel because then I don't have to worry so much about which direction I'm adding the charm onto the book. Plus I think it looks cool. I like it. So, and then, you know, you could add other stuff onto any of these loops. You know, you could add another charm on here if you wanted to, onto that big jump ring. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to show you guys how I'm doing those, and let you know that these will be available. I'll finish these up today. Oh, and then I'm probably going to also, when I stitch these together, I tied them in the center. So I've got the long strings in the center. So what, I forgot I was going to do this too. What I'm probably going to do is just, this is an old, like mother of pearl bead or button. So I'm just going to add a little button onto each of these little strings. Just add a couple little buttons, maybe a button and a bead or something. And then I like to make them long enough that they sort of stick out the bottom. I just think they look cool that way. So, all right, so that's what I'm doing. And then these guys are almost done. And I did do an elastic closure on these, just by doing a couple of eyelets in the back. And then, you know, this will just flip one way or the other, you know, and keep it nice and closed. Okay, so like I said, I will do a flip through on these and show you more of them in detail, probably later on today, maybe tonight. But I'm just going to keep making some more of these little bead charms because they're really fun. And I've got 32 journals that need something. So I'm going to keep going. I've got a bunch of them that I've made already, but I think I need more. So also on some of them, I use these little rings. Instead of using a chandelier, I use these rings. These are connector rings that you can pick up at Joann's. And they just come like in a set. I think there's 24 in a set, in a package. And they're just all different sizes. So some of them are small like that, and they've got some stamping in them, like some patterning stamped into them. So those are kind of fun to use as charms too. And that way people can definitely add more onto them if they want to. Anyway, so that's where we're at. And I just wanted to, you know, let you guys know I'm okay. And, you know, just having fun. Still working on the kitchen. And I will try to show that to you guys one of these days if you care to see, just because I've talked about it so much. And yeah, all right, so if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or you can send me an email. My email will be in the description also, and I'll just link as much stuff as I can that I've used. So check the description if there's something that I use that you particularly want to try to find. And yeah, so anyway, thanks you guys. Love you. Talk to you soon.